Hello again, friends. It's that time of the month that I remind you that I exist. Now, before we get started into my thoughts on the book, happy birthday to all my February friends, but especially Kelly and Sarah. Now, I originally had thought that you guys were going to be watching this on the 28th, so I was going to wish you a happy birthday on your birthdays, but I guess it's a day early, so happy birthday a day early. Um, I definitely didn't procrastinate. I didn't hastily set up in my room with this like campfire lighting here. Anyways, into the book. I'm coming into it having already watched the movie, but the last time that I saw it before reading this book was with everybody in the theater when we went to watch it. So I didn't remember a lot of the movie when went into the book. After I finished reading though, I did go back through and watch the movie, and I was pleasantly surprised at how similar yet different it was. But that's for later. First, let's talk about the book itself. So first off, fucking hell, the prince is something serious in the novel. The way that this man, no, this boy, is able to control and manipulate the other kids and adults in his life is something else. I wonder just how plausible his antics would be in real life. I like to think I'm smarter than a child and would see straight through his ruse. But at the same time, who would assume that a child is trying to kill people and animals with a defibrillator? I seriously hope that he got what was coming to him in the end with the Kimuras, as it's implied that they shoot him on the train, but you never know, right? It doesn't actually tell you. He could have wrestled the gun away or something and shot them. I also like that there were certain things in the book that were kept mysterious pretty much the entire time. Nanao runs into this teacher several times on the train, and he seems to show up just at the right time, and he's on with them all the way to the end. Then, when they get there, somebody offs Mitagishi, and Nanao suspects that the conductor was the second Hornet, only because he saw the conductor getting into an argument with him beforehand. However, when Mitagishi goes down, the conductor isn't there, so to me, it seems quite impossible that the teacher isn't a professional just like the rest of them, and the teacher might actually be the second Hornet. Now, I really have no other evidence, so that's kind of just speculation. But my speculation is that he saw the commotion with the conductor and he took the opportunity to off the last target. It doesn't really make sense though, because when the teacher runs into Nanao months later, there's no attempt at revenge for killing his business associate. Maybe he didn't know Nanao was the one to do it, or maybe he wasn't close to his associate like that. Speaking of characters in the novel and not in the movie, Asagao was a cool character, and I was hoping he'd have more to do with the actual plot than just being there to save Wataru. I enjoyed the part of the book where we got to be inside his head while he was waiting for lights to change, and then just gave a gentle push. And actually, while I was looking up Asagao's name, I found a reference to another book by the same author, which was released in the West called The Three Assassins. And one of the assassins featured in that book is the Pusher himself. And apparently, from the review that I read on The Three Assassins, the Hornet duo is also involved in it. So it might be an interesting read later down the line. So when it came to the last book club book, I took pretty detailed notes throughout a decent amount of the book. And after I finished reading, I pretty much wrote down my thoughts there and then. And then it just took me a while to actually transcribe those notes into a video. This time I decided to do something different where I read the book in the little pockets of time I had throughout the day. And as such, I took very little notes on things I enjoyed along the way. For an added bonus, I wrote down my thoughts on things that were only in the book and then procrastinated for about a week and a half before sitting down to write my thoughts on the comparisons between the book and the movie. What that has now led to is me not remembering exactly what was in the book and what was in the movie. I will say I know exactly what caused my complete memory wipe and what was the major cause of my procrastination. Had to do with a certain wizarding game that I have put about 50 hours into since its released, and I would do it all again. It was worth it. So let me attempt to accio some things from deep in my memory and see if I can't draw up some of what I had planned to type out. Because I remember that there being a lot that I wanted to say, but now I can't remember any of it. Firstly, did I talk about the ending of the book at all? Because I really enjoyed how the plot of the book and the movie managed to be so similar and also so different at the same time. It was very obvious in my rewatch of the movie when the writers took over with their plot because it really stands out as a derailment in the tone and the atmosphere of the movie. One, because the train literally derails, but two, because for most of the book and the movie up until that point, it's a complex maze of who's on the train and for what reasons. But once the movie says there's one more stop to go, the plot is very straightforward and kind of simple. We're going to kill the bad guy. Okay, we killed the bad guy. One nice touch, though, was the fact that since Lemon never died, the truck at the end was only full of tangerines, whereas in the book, since they both died, it now wins tangerines and lemons. All in all, I liked the book a lot. Listening to a mystery in action was both fun and challenging, especially in the way that I listened to it. I found myself picking the book back up only to be confused as to what was going on for 5 or 10 minutes when I first picked it up. When I remembered, though, I was sucked in and I didn't want to stop listening. Next month, I'm definitely going to try and find a bit more of a happy medium between frantically taking notes and lackadaisically reading about half an hour or so at a time. Oh, and I'm also going to try to write my thoughts more completely when I finish because I don't remember half the things that I wanted to talk about. My overall recommendation for Bullet Train, yes, read it. It's good. Anyways, take care, friends. This is the end of the book club review thing. Only 8 more of these videos left until I can give you my reviews in person again. Next month, I promise I won't get the dates confused and have to record this at like 11 p.m. All right, bye.